and blessings, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Asia. I am your host, Asia Nasir Shahi, and our mission on this show is to educate and empower the women of our communities and the girls that they are raising. Tonight, we have a wonderful show. It's a little different from what you're used to seeing because most of the time when you're on our show, you see adults, whether male or female. But this episode, we wanted to do something a little different in honor of Women's History Month or Women's Awareness Month. But this time we wanted to honor young entrepreneurial females that are doing and movers and shakers in their communities. And that's what we have here tonight. So often, we talk about what's not right with our young girls, what's happening with our youth, things that are not going right in their lives, and the decisions that sometimes they're making that, have them ending up in a situation that's not good for them, their community, or their family. Well, tonight we have three young ladies that are actually doing it right. And I felt that we would be remiss if we took this month and did not honor the future mothers and the future mother movers and shakers of our community. And so tonight we have very special guests, three CEOs of their own company called JASCrafted. Welcome, ladies.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Nice to have you on the show. I am super excited. Like, this is different. Y'all are pioneering something new on the Conversations with Asia show as far as entrepreneurship. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Jalila. I'm 11 years old and I'm J of Jazz.
My name is Aziza. I am 14 years old and I am A of Jazz.
Hi, my name is Sa'ara. I'm 8 years old and I'm S of Jazz.
So you just said something really interesting. So you mentioned your name, Jalila, Aziza, and Sa'ara. So that encompasses what again? Because I want to make sure no one missed it. So what does the initials in the first name in the first letters in your name, what does that mean as it relates to your business?
Jazz is an acronym for her name. So she said, she's J of Jazz, I'm A of Jazz, and she is S of Jazz.
That is amazing. Talk about branding. Y'all are really doing it, just even from the name. And I teach entrepreneurship. And, Aziza, you actually participated in our youth entrepreneur program, and you were talking about branding. That was something that was really, something that you made sure that you emphasized to the girls. So look at, Jazz stands for the initials in each of your names. Mm-hmm. So for those that are watching the show, girls, who is JASCrafted? What is JASCrafted all about?
JASCrafted is a skincare business that we created in 2018.
Wow, 2018. So you've been around. Most businesses, they tell you if you're gonna make it, if you can make it that first 2 years, you're doing something positive. So you've been around obviously way more, and you've actually passed COVID, like the heart of COVID. So what made you start JASCrafted? How did you get into the skincare line?
Well, it all started when she had her own business, Z by Aziza, and I went in my own business, but I didn't necessarily want to do fashion designing. So I was like, we just have a skincare business because my mom has this rule, if you can't pronounce the ingredients, then you can't put it in or on your body. So we couldn't find any bubble baths or stuff like that. So I was like, we should just make our own. At first, she was like, no, and then we kept on asking. And then we pulled our money together and resources, and then we created Jazz.
Wow. Okay. So you just said something that I can't even get adults to do sometimes. You said you pulled in your funding resources, like your money. How did you do that?
Well, we only started with a little bit of money first, and then we asked our family members and friends if they could help us, if they could donate us some money so we can get our own resources, because all of our ingredients are all natural.
Wow. So obviously when you're dealing with natural products, it costs a little bit more money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're dealing with organic, I know that just from food, everything else, it costs more money. So basically what you did was you asked family and friends to invest in your business?
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Can you say your ages just one more time? I want to make sure they understand. You guys are doing some amazing things. How old are you again, Jalila?
I am 11.
And I am 14. And
I'm 8.
Wow. So you did this, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
So you were much younger than the age that you are now, and you were already, going out, speaking, doing public speaking, asking family and friends to invest in your business. So tell us, why was it so important that you created a skincare line? Did you feel like there was a void, and do you have a particular audience that you work with in your skincare line?
I would say that we started Jazz because we all have really sensitive skin. Like we all have breakouts, and when we do certain things, like we said, my mom has a rule where we can't put anything in or on our body, and so different stuff will break us out. And so, like she said, we got tired of not being able to get bubble bath or lotion, regular baths and beauty stuff, and so she said, how about we make our own stuff? So we did the products that we have now. And our main target is young women who, I forgot the exact words for it, but basically it's young women who have, who care about what they put on their skin and who have some understanding about natural and non-GMO products.
That is good. That is because we do. I know for me, like sometimes it depends on the season. Like sometimes I have extra dry skin. Sometimes, people have oily skin. Do you have products that deal with that type of skin?
Yeah, I would say our product is good for all skin types. Sorry. Sorry. I would say it's good for all types of skin types.
If you have dry skin, the body butter cream would do good.
Really? Okay. So y'all have specific products depending on whatever they're struggling with. You have specific products. So tell us a little bit about your products. Like, when you have a skin line, this is usually for this, is usually for that. Tell the viewers, because we have a few viewers on here saying, love this. Hey, ladies, from Tanya Williams. She said, yes, my 10-year-old is watching. So look, you have peers that are watching you and being inspired by what you're doing. So tell some of the girls that might be, especially at your age, they struggle with acne and their hormones are changing. Like, what type of products do you have for young girls, since that's your audience?
Well, this is one of our main products. It is a body butter cream. Body butter cream. It is body butter cream, and it is a replenishing cream to help. It is a replenishing cream, so it has a lot of great stuff in it. Mango butter, African shea butter. I'm not going to go through all the ingredients because that's not really the main point of the body butter cream. It has really good stuff that helps. Moisturize. I'm sorry, I can't speak today. I'm out of practice.
That's okay.
It helps moisturize your body, and so yes.
And then we have an exfoliation scrub called the Body Polish. It is made with sugar, African shea butter, sweet almond oil, and sweet orange oil, and it's an exfoliation scrub.
And more ingredients.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're mentioning some names here like Body Polish and Exfoliate. Do they have I like when I go to places and they have like these sweet, not sweet smelling scents, but feminine scents that smell good. Mm-hmm. Being that you use organic products, does it have those nice scents that a lot of girls your age like as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of different. I would say we made our own type of scent. So it's like a mixture of floral. And what else did you say?
Like fruit.
Like citrusy stuff sometimes. Yeah. So like how she said orange oil and stuff. So yes.
Wow. So the products that you just mentioned, that's like for your body. Do you have anything particular like for face, because like I said, girls your age usually go through like their hormones are changing. And so they develop acne, and even some adults, they have like, their skin is for their face is it's a struggle for them. So do you have anything as far as for facial to help women have a nightly routine or something?
Yes, we have a body bath bar, and this is one of our popular ones, charcoal facial bar. So the charcoal clears your pores. It pulls things out.
Yeah, pulls.
And then we also have a healing body bath bar too.
Wow, look at you ladies.
And
y'all
Yeah, there's just don't worry. There's 2 different flavors of lip polish. It's an exfoliation scrub for your lips to get rid of that top layer of dry skin and leaves your lips shiny and moisturized and soft. She likes to say leaves you feeling as soft as a baby. So
I love it, Sarah. Yes, those taglines. Yes. And it's so true, especially like in the wintertime.
Oh, and we have our bath soap. It releases stress and tense muscles.
in a
Wow.
warm bath or a hot bath.
I love it. I love it. So when you come home, you can take so you have a little of everything as it relates from head to toe for the skin.
Mm-hmm. And one of our new products is because, well, for me, whenever I like to take long baths, and I haven't done it yet, but I plan on to. I'm gonna burn like incense or like something to help me relax even more. And so we have these candles. We have a winter spruce and
what's that one?
Our original.
No, it's oak moss and amber. That's it. Is oak moss and amber. I forgot it sometimes. This is oak moss and amber, and that is winter spruce.
Wow. So from what it seems like to me, girls, is that you're looking at more of a holistic approach, and holistic means like you're looking at from every aspect, because our skin is affected by stress level, like you just mentioned. Sometimes we break out because we're stressed out. Sometimes our skin in totality, sometimes it breaks out because of the stress. So you're looking at a holistic approach from every aspect to make sure that the skin is taken care of.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
Wow. Why is this so important to you? Why is this so important? Because I know you mentioned that a lot of times we didn't have products for us, for sensitive skin and things like that. But why was it so important at that age? You started very young. What made you feel like this is something we have to start now?
First, it felt like a big deal because it wasn't really anything in regular stores for people that have sensitive skin, and there's a lot of people out there that have sensitive skin, but it's not a lot of people that made products. So because we were young Black Muslim girls, we could be the first to do it.
So y'all was looking to pioneer something, to be the first, to be able to do something, and that was important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you found that it was a struggle because you were so young to kind of get in the door sometimes, or did it make it easier for you to get into places because you were so young?
I would say yes and no.
I would say both.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of both. So you want to say something about that?
Huh?
Yes.
The thing, it was like sometimes I didn't want to do it. Sometimes I wanted to do it. Sometimes I would want to like cashier people, hand people cards, and like do that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, as an adult, sometimes I feel like that. So I can imagine when you're young, it feels that like that too. Aziza, when you mentioned that sometimes it was easy to get into places and sometimes it was hard to get into places because of your age, why don't you speak to the viewers on that? Because we're getting a lot of feedback here today on the show.
I would say it would be easy because they would want to support such young Black Muslim girls. So just like, yay, these little, because we were little at the time. I wouldn't say we're so little now, but like these little people are doing something big and they're sticking to it. So let's support them and encourage them to continue to strive and continue doing this thing. And so I would say it would be easy for us to do that because everyone would want. I would say everyone that we've encountered has wanted to support us and encourage us to continue doing jazz. And I wouldn't say that it would be hard. It was kind of like what she said. I guess it would be hard to walk through doors because we didn't want to do it at like the time. So we would have like our moments where we'd be like, I don't want to do this. I want to go hang out with my friends and my cousins. And so even now, like you said, we just came back. We're tennis players. We just came back from tennis, and we were all talking. And I was like, "Sorry, you guys, we gotta go. We have an interview to do." And so they were
wow.
Oh, okay.
So
well, yeah, I would say it was like that.
So what I'm hearing is like from outside people, it was easier because of your age, but the struggle came more so from within.
Yes. Yeah.
What made you keep going? when you had those moments like that? Like Sa'ara, you were saying sometimes I wanted to play, sometimes I didn't want to do this, or sometimes I just wanted to do this. What, and I would like to hear from each and every one of you, because all three of you contribute to the success of your company. So Sa'ara, since you brought it up, I would like to start with you. What made you keep going even when you had those moments?
The thing that made me keep going is that sometimes they would be like, "You should keep on going. We're doing great."
Motivation?
Yeah, motivation.
Motivation from other people?
Yeah, and there was like, "No, we can actually like do something with this," and that made me keep on going.
Mm-hmm. Good. Aziza?
I would say I can see jazz being like a major thing, and so I would like for it to be something where I don't know the right word for it, but it will be something that I can keep on pulling resources from. So like I won't have to basically run jazz myself, but I can still get the profits from it. And so I want to be able to make it big and then run it in a way where I don't have to run it, if that makes sense.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's that entrepreneurial mind, Aziza. That's exactly what an entrepreneur does. It's like you plant the seed, you work it, you get it to where you want to go, to where you're at a point right now where you don't have to do the day-to-day stuff, but you still receive that residual income from what you started. So, I totally get it. Totally get it. Yeah. So, Jalila, what make you keep going? What makes you keep going when you have those moments where you're just like, I don't feel like doing this?
What motivates me is that it's all gonna, hopefully, inshallah, it will all work out in the end. And when my mom tells us that like little girls are starting their own business because of us, it makes me feel special inside.
And isn't that a good feeling to feel special for all the right reasons, right? Yeah. So what have you heard, since you mentioned that you are inspiring young girls? We have right here a 10-year-old is watching the show right now and listening to how you started your journey and everything. What is it that you have heard young girls tell you when they see you out and doing what you do? How have they said you inspired them?
Well, excuse me, most people are scared to fail when they start their own business. So when they saw their peers doing it, they didn't see them fail, they're like, oh, okay, so it must not be that hard to do it.
Wow, Jalila, that was powerful. Because you are speaking things that I talk about with adults in my consulting firm, and their biggest thing is that fear of failing, not understanding that sometimes mishaps and things like that is a part of success, is not giving up, right? Looking to do things better. Have you had moments where you felt like this was not going the way you wanted it to go and you had to change things to make it work?
No, not really. It always seemed like it was going the way I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. And I would think that a big motivation for you to keep going too is, like you said, is your why you started, that there was no products for young girls. So it's like, if you stop doing it, then who's going to pick up the torch and continue to do it? Or who's going to be able to provide that service that you provide? Right. So that is great. I wanted to ask you, with everything that we see right now with young girls, getting into things that aren't so good, and especially as young Muslim young girls, you're different already, right? And you're seeing what's happening with young girls your age getting into, either not doing well in school, getting into things that they shouldn't get into, being involved or focused on things that are not going to benefit them, which is the total opposite of what you were just talking about. You're talking about building wealth. You're talking about, not, having money in your sleep, making money in your sleep where you don't have to do all the work. Like, you have a completely different vision than a lot of the young girls your age. How did that start for you? And is it difficult for you to be different?
I would say for me, it definitely was more of a challenge to be different. But the thing is, I'm a weird person. So, and my mom would tell me you should embrace your weirdness, and I would. So when people would call me weird, I would be like, "Thank you." I take that as a compliment. But
That's
whenever,
what I'm talking about.
but whenever like my mom would tell me that I would be different, it would just be like, I don't want to be different. I want to be like everyone else. But then I'd also say like, yes, I'm weird, and I'm embracing my weirdness. But then on the other hand, I'm still saying I want to be like everyone else. And so I decided to take the weirdness route. And so I would say I don't really want to be like everyone else anymore. It kind of seems
Boring.
yeah, basic. It seems
Boring.
yeah, it doesn't no. So so yeah, I would say I going to continue being my weird
Self.
yes, my weird self.
I love it though. I love your personality, Aziza. What is it for you, Jalila? I mean, you're right at that age, that preteen stage where, girls your age want to be accepted. They want to kind of like blend in. How is that different for you? And it has, what makes you continue to be different, but for all the right reasons?
So at first I wasn't trying to be like everyone else. I was fine. I didn't really need anybody. I was my own person, whatever. But then as I started to get older, I didn't realize it, but my mom started realizing it. She started realizing I was trying to be like everyone else. And I had to stop it because I didn't necessarily want to, because everyone else is always basic and boring and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to stand out.
Mm-hmm. So you want to be different. You want to be different. What about you, Sarah? I know you're young. You're the youngest. You're the baby of the group, but you're growing and coming into yourself. Do you feel that sometimes because you're doing what you're doing, like what you said, we got to go. We have an interview to do. Do you feel okay with that? Or do you feel like you're missing out?
I did kind of, but then when we were in the car talking about it, I felt more excited about it than I was before.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just amazed at how, I mean, I'm an adult and people ask me a lot, how do you juggle your time? And when I was talking to your parents and just getting to know you and hearing all the things that you're involved with, can you tell the viewers, aside from running JASCrafted, which is a huge responsibility, what other extracurricular activities are you girls involved in, from spiritual to, sports or any other activities? What are you involved in aside from JASCrafted?
Well, I want to be a professional tennis player. So I take tennis 6 times a week. So that really takes up my time. And then I have school Tuesday through Thursday. So that also takes up my time. So I have to wake up early, go to school, and then go to tennis, and then come home and then do it all over again. So I just want to be a tennis player.
Wow. What about you, Sarah? What activities are you involved in?
I'm in tennis. I only go 3 days a week, and I wanted to become a professional tennis player too, and I wanted to have my own juice business.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And what about you, Aziza? Like, what other activities are you involved in aside from JASCrafted?
I'm also doing tennis 6 times a week, and I'm also doing acting. So I just finished a play back in October.
Wow.
Or November. It was not too long ago. It was not too long ago because I would like to become an actress. So I do plays and acting, and yeah, I do tennis, acting, in school. So we kind of have the same schedule, and I kind of sing a little bit.
She sings there.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah. And
So,
reading.
so with the different things, that is just amazing that you're in tennis, you're acting and singing, and you're aspiring already for new businesses and everything like that. Has that affected you in school? Because both of you said, yeah, we have school. How has that affected running your business? Has it affected you being able to do well in school, or it hasn't?
No, because we're not doing regular public school. We're doing homeschool right now, so we can have the ability to like say, oh, we can't come today, we have an interview, or we have to go to tennis right now, early or late, or something like that. So we can kind of do what we need to do.
The ability to have a flexible schedule.
Yeah, flexible schedule, and we can do our work later.
So what are you learning about that? For all three of you, what are you learning about time? Your time when it comes to managing tennis, acting, singing, school, running JASCrafted. What are you learning about time?
Keep a schedule.
Keep a schedule.
My mom always has a schedule ready. Or she's always just like, she always has something to like occupy our time with.
Yeah.
So
she occupies your time, or does you keep mom occupied with all the things you want to be involved with?
Yeah, and some stuff that we want to be involved with.
So, it's kind of like both, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
She always has us like doing our schoolwork, keeping track of our tennis stuff. Like she always has something for us to like do instead of like doing our free time stuff. She always makes us like do the stuff you need to do before you do the stuff you want to do.
That is, do you know what that's called, girls?
No.
That's called work ethics.
Oh, work ethics.
Having good work ethics. And you girls are learning that at a young age. May Allah reward you, and may Allah reward your parents, because they're giving you such values that so many people, even at my age and your parents' age, haven't learned that yet. And it makes things very difficult. So it is amazing that you're learning work ethics, time management. You're learning how to be entrepreneurs. Has this taught you anything about managing money? Because you were talking about a profit. So has this being able to run your business?
Money. A few years when we started the business, when we used to have like a good sale day, I was like, we made so much money, we can go like do something fun. And then they were just like, no, if you have to like do the stuff you need for your business with the money, and then you can use, and then once you're finished with that, if there's any money left over, you can use that for something you want.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. So you're learning how to manage your money as well, which is so important, because a lot of people don't realize that when you make money, you have to reinvest back into your business to keep it going, right? Yep. And that's so has that allowed you to be able to expand your products? Because I remember when you girls first started, you had a few products, and now I was looking at all the products you was popping out. I'm like, you've really expanded your business.
Yes, we started with like
10 products?
No, we started with like, in the very beginning, we had like 12.
Yeah, products. We had like 12 products, and then we
got smaller, and then we had 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then we branched out, and then we have 4, and then we have 5. And
then we had 6.
Now we have 6. No, 7. 7, the candles. So now we have 7.
So you have 7 products now that is, you're actively selling and actively doing. What I want to ask you now is more from a spiritual standpoint, being that you are young Muslim girls. Do you feel that being Muslim helps you to be a good entrepreneur, and just the young girls that you are?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain that. I would love to hear your thought process.
I would say yes, because let me think. Do you have something to say?
It hasn't really changed my business, how I run it or whatever, because I haven't hit a age that I have to cover. So people don't necessarily know that I'm Muslim, but they know I have a Muslim family. So since I'm getting older, my mom said like, you have to start covering yourself. You can't just wear shorts or whatever. You have to wear these amount of shorts. You can't wear shorts, stuff like that.
So what I meant by that question is, sometimes people get into business, right? And they're not always honest. They're not always honest. Sometimes they cheat people. Sometimes they know people gave them more than they were supposed to, or sometimes they know they didn't give people what they paid for, and they'll sometimes they'll lie and things like that. That's what I meant to say. By being Muslim, does that make you do business differently?
Oh,
Okay, I have something to say. I thought about it, and I would say yes. So the yes would be that whenever people, like what you said, like whenever people may pay too much, you might like send them a text or an email, or if we're in person, we would be like, hey, you gave me so and so amount. Would you like it back? And sometimes they say yes. Sometimes they say no. They're just like, no, keep it. I meant to give you that much, or whatever. And sometimes we like to give things to people. What do we call them again?
Give a gift kit.
No.
Like samples? Like samples?
No. Complimentary. Yes. We like to give them complimentary things. And I wouldn't say it would be like our favorite person, but it's just like we would do random things. And I would say that I wouldn't really say it would have to deal with us being Muslim, but I think that would be a big part of it. Because in Islam it's good to give back to people and to just, be kind to others in general. So honest and loyal. And you got something to say? No?
So what are your plans for JASCrafted? Like what can we look for? Are there going to be new expansions that we can expect? And, can you talk a little bit about it?
Well, people have been saying that we should do other things. Like someone said that we should start doing soaps, and so we started doing body bars. Some other people said that we should start doing a few people said, customers said that we should start doing sunscreen, and that's the only one I can remember, but I feel like it was a few. It was like sunscreen.
When people were looking at our body butter cream, they were always like, is this candle? And we were like, no, that's our body butter cream. And so then we got some candles, so then people can get the candles.
Wow, so do you expand? So you're looking to expand your candle line?
Are we?
Yes.
Yes.
I like more candles.
So I said yes.
Okay, or look, you're gonna expand our candle line.
We don't know. We haven't made.
So how do you come up, being that it's 3? I know sometimes when people work with partners, sometimes when they work in nonprofit and they have to work with a board of directors, which is multiple people, sometimes coming up with decisions isn't always easy because everybody's different. And from what I heard from your parents, each of you have very different personalities. How do you come up and work together, being that you live together, you go to school together because you're homeschooled? How do you keep where now you're running a business as well, where you're able to keep the peace and be able to make decisions for your business? How do you do that?
Well, my mom says, don't split up the business. It's better together than it is apart. And y'all, do so well. And we can actually make this a thing. And, we could get this somewhere big.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with your mom. What about you, Jalila? How do you manage that? Because I know sometimes siblings are like, sometimes how do you? So you're saying, yeah. So how do you do that where you're together all the time, but you're able to still run a successful business?
I say we come up with ideas better together than we do apart because, say for example, one of us comes with a scent that everyone doesn't like, but then we mix them, and it's something that all of us like. So we work better together with the business than we do.
Do you feel that in some ways it makes you actually closer because you do so many things together?
Sometimes.
I would say definitely whenever we're trying to pick out color, when we're trying to pick out colors and scents and stuff. It I would say that it definitely helps us better to have a better communication, to create better communication skills. Because I can definitely say when we started, it was a bunch of arguing.
So you've learned So you've learned how to do what's called conflict resolution. So when you don't agree, how do you do that with each other? How do you like express to one another without hurting each other's feelings, but say, look, I have a different opinion. How does that work with you with you three?
I say we try to talk it out. Like say, what about we do this one and we try to make another one this scent, and we can do both of those, but we just have to
Yeah, we vote.
Yeah, we vote sometimes.
Okay.
Flip a coin, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Flip a coin. Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to negotiate. Is that the word? Yeah, negotiate.
Ooh, yes. Okay, Sarah, I love it. Yeah, so you look for different ways to negotiate. So it's not a black and white. It has to be my way or no way. It's like, let's look at different things and let's negotiate and try to work with each other. I love it. I love it. What would you say, girls? And I want you to think about this question, because a lot of times, people just like, I don't know. And you may already have an answer. But with JASCrafted and just with you as an individual inside, what do you want your legacy to be of JASCrafted and how you contributed to it? What do you want your legacy to be like? What do you want people to remember you by?
I want people to remember jazz as by that's the business of these three young ladies started this business at a super young age, and they built it to be a big success.
Mashallah, this is so beautiful. and Jalila, what do you want your legacy to be as far as JASCrafted and what you're doing, working with your sisters? What do you want your legacy to be and people to remember you by?
I would say the same thing, basically. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. These little girls started their own business, and then it built into $1 billion company.
Amazing.
And
what about you? What about you, Aziza? What do you want people to remember you by, being that you're the oldest of your siblings running this business? What do you want your legacy to be?
I would say I would want my legacy to be kind of what they said, but I don't want to say the same thing. So, like someone who worked hard to achieve their goal. Because I'm kind of all about goal setting for certain things, not everything.
Certain things.
Yeah, but for most things, I'm all about goal setting, and so I set a goal to make Jazz multi-billion dollar company, and so if we hit $1 billion, that's cool, but I wouldn't mind $1 million either.
So. I know, right? Money.
And so a multi-billion.
Do you have any goals of what you would do, since you said you set goals? Each of you have these goals. Have any of you set goals as to what you want to do? If not inshallah, when you make it, God willing, when you make that financial goal, do you have anything in mind that you want to do with it? Because Allah tells us that on the day of judgment, not only is he going to ask you, how did you make your money? But he's going to also ask you, what did you do with that money? So have you thought about that?
I want to own a theater, pool, a hotel, and a library.
Ooh, a library, okay.
I wanted to own my own movie theater, and I wanted to have a juice business.
Oh, juice business, okay.
And the juice bar could be at the movie theater too. And then I could have a juice bar at other locations where you can get it.
Wow. What about you, Aziza? What do you want to do if you made that goal?
I actually thought about making, I guess, not halal, but a Muslim-friendly cruise ship, because on cruise ships there are a bunch of casinos, and they sell a bunch of alcohol, and so I was like, I can't make money off of that stuff, so I'm gonna make my own cruise line. It would be nice.
Really? Wow.
Make my own cruise ships. I wanted to start with 8. I made a whole plan, a vision board for this. Yeah.
Love it. So you girls have vision boards? You do vision boards every year?
Yeah. I do vision boards.
I do vision boards in my head.
You like, I got it up here.
And I like shoot the ideas to my mom or dad.
Okay.
I do
Okay.
vision boards like maybe like once every other month.
Like storyboards.
Yeah. So
Good.
yeah.
Or like write it down or try to like picture it out.
So I want to stop right here because you ladies are saying some amazing things that are it's like you're honoring your prayers. You know, you're praying, you know, for our creator to help you to be able to achieve your goals and to place blessings in what you're doing. But you're also showing the effort. You're making the effort. So you mentioned you said you do one is a vision board, one was a storyboard.
Yeah.
What's a storyboard? Just explain to the viewers that might be like, what's a storyboard?
A storyboard is when it can be like a regular board or like a big board or like a small board, any size board, and you like draw pictures and place it on the board, and it like tells a story, like you put it in order, and then you tell the story.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have a vision board, you have a storyboard, and then you said you also write down your goals. You write down the things that you want to do. And then you said you have a kind of like a to-do list that you do every day, so that way you manage your time, right? So for those that are
figure it out, like draw it out, kind of, but not exactly.
Good.
We try to picture it as much as we can.
I love it. So now I'm watching you girls, and I see each of you have your JASCrafted shirts on.
Hey.
Yes, I see it. So that's called branding. That's branding your business, branding who you are. You know, what else do you do to brand JASCrafted, and why is it so important that you brand your company? What does it mean to you to brand your company? Like, you're all wearing your shirts and everything. What does that mean for you?
I can say that my dad in particular, I would say when he first started doing it was kind of annoying, but he would want us to pass out cards everywhere we went. I'm talking about so when he took her to the Braves game and she was like, give that lady next to her a card. And she was like, no. So like we're just like at a park and just like
give that lady a card. Give that man a card.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to do that. And but after a while I was just like, okay, Daddy, I started passing out cards, and I didn't pass out cards. I started telling people about our business. And so it doesn't bother me as much anymore. I kind of expect it now, but I know for me, when he first started doing it, it was a lot.
So he was pushing you. He was pushing you outside your comfort zone, is what he was doing.
And we also wear a lot of our
merch.
Yeah, our merch, and so we have like jazz hoodies that we
I wear my hoodie to tennis.
Yeah, we wear it to tennis. My dad wears it everywhere.
Yeah. And what does that do when you're wearing it all around, and you know your dad and your mom is wearing your merch and stuff like that? What does that do when you're branding? What does it do when people see you in your shirts and you know your hoodies and things like that? What happens?
People ask questions. Yeah, people ask questions.
Right.
Jays.
So when you do that, you don't necessarily have to hand out business cards. People are coming to you asking you, what is JASCrafted, right? Amazing. Yeah, so that's all about branding. Do you feel that this has helped you? Because from what I know, Aziza, I think you're more of the extrovert. But from what I heard, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard that Sa'ara and Jalila are more of the reserved ones. So this question is for Sa'ara and Jalila. Is that true that you're more reserved?
What does that mean?
Reserved is like more like what they call an introvert.
Oh, yes. I used to be, but since the COVID, I've kind of branched out. So I wouldn't say anymore, no, because I've made at least 3 new friends since Corona because I was going crazy with my sisters.
Has the business helped you to kind of step outside your comfort zone and to speak when normally you'd been like, I would have never done that if I was not running JASCrafted?
For me, no. I've always kind of wanted to talk to people and be in like the center of attention.
You're an actress, honey.
What actors do? They always have.
But I would say for her, correct me if I'm wrong, but it really helped you out of your little turtle shell.
That is amazing. So here's what I would love for you to do as we're getting ready to close the show. We've been already on here 45 minutes, and I could talk for another 45 minutes with you girls because you're so like, I love what I'm hearing. If knowing that, I mean, you've seen it just the same way I've seen it. You know, young girls are struggling with self-esteem and things like that. They're afraid, like what you said, they're letting their fear kind of get in the way. For some of the girls that are watching, and just for anyone that might be watching on YouTube as well, I would like each of you to leave like a closing remark of something that you would say to a young girl who has goals, but maybe haven't gone after it or afraid to go after it. What would you say to them? So I'm going to start with Sa'ara. Sa'ara, can you say, what would you say to a young girl who's afraid to start her own business or just to go after any dream she has?
I would say if you have a dream, you should try to stick to it. Like I used to want to make extra little money. I would ask mommy if I could like do a little lemonade stand outside, but he wouldn't really come outside much. But I still wanted it to do, and like never let down your dreams and hopes.
Powerful message. And next we have Jalila. Jalila, what would you say for girls your age, who I find is a very difficult age? It's that preteen stage, and that's when they're just now starting to care like what people think of them, and you know, they want to fit in and things like that. And sometimes they might be afraid to just even share that they even have these ideas. What would you say to a young girl who has goals but may not feel like she can do it or she's afraid to?
Well, you can't fail unless you try. So if you don't try, you won't know if you're successful. If you try, you don't know if you'll fail.
Y'all need to be running this show. I'm telling y'all. Y'all need to be running Jessica Cares, because this is what I'm talking about right here. Absolutely. And Aziza, what would you say, you know, to a young girl who's watching and struggling with going after her goals or feeling like maybe she's not enough, maybe she can't do it? What would you say to her?
I would say shoot for the stars, because really, and it's a line from one of my favorite movies, new movies. It said, if you aim at
nothing, you hit nothing.
She knows, yeah. If you aim at nothing, if you aim at nothing, you hit nothing. And so I would say you never know until you try. And so I started painting, and I was like, I'm not a painter, but you know, I still tried. Still not a painter, but I'm good at it. So
it's amazing. Yes. So what you're saying is just go for it, right? Just try it. You might, like you said, you might be more successful. And you ladies have learned work ethics. You've learned leadership skills because you've had to take on, you know, doing things on your own. Do you guys go out like in the summertime or when the weather permits? Do you like promote your products, and how do you do that?
I would say that before COVID, we would vend at a lot of places. So we vended at the Riata, we vended at parks, at festivals.
We vended during Juma sometimes at the Masjid.
We did?
Yeah.
The West End.
We just got from Underground. We used to do Underground weeks, and we did a Christmas
holiday market.
And we did a holiday market a few months ago.
Not warmer season.
So speaking of holidays, girls, we have a holiday coming up in the Muslim community with the Eid. Do you have anything special that if people wanted to buy someone an Eid gift with your skincare line? Do you have any specials coming up?
Yeah, 15% off.
Ooh, y'all knew that. Y'all was quick with it. Y'all was like 50 in unison. Okay, 15% off. So tell those that are watching right now, how can they find you? Where can they find you? And how can they purchase your one? I mean, you showed all your products. So Sarah and hold up, at least two each. Hold up your products. If someone wants to purchase your products, from body butters to candles to exfoliants, all the different things that you have, how can they get all these amazing products that are made specific for women who have sensitive skin and young girls who have sensitive skin? Where can we find you?
You can find the bath soap, the body polish, and you can find everything of our products at Brand Text. You can find our products at www.JASCrafted.com.
Very good. I see that. So that website, for the viewers that are watching, that website is www.JASCrafted. And the Jazz is the first initial of the girl's name. So that's JASCrafted.com. And it's right up here. So if you look at the comments, it's right on here. And speaking of comments, I want to read some of the comments. Do you have any like handles, like social media handles where they can follow you?
Our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn and TikTok. Is just
our TikTok is a work in progress.
Y'all working on that. That's me too. I'm not as tech savvy as you guys, so I'm working on TikTok. I've only done a couple. So you said Instagram. What's the handle on Instagram?
It's all JASCrafted on Instagram, okay. JASCrafted, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
So that's where they can find you. I just love what you girls are doing. I need to read these comments because there's so many beautiful things that people have said. You're inspiring even women, grown women that are watching the show. Rabia wrote, OMG, mashallah, y'all are beautiful little women and mean. Then she said, y'all have the most beautiful brown skin. Love yourself in your own skin. And then, so the advice of, writing things down, having a vision board, the different things that you're doing. Someone wrote, Asha said, great insight. And then she said, claim it big. Success is yours by Allah. And she gave the hands up. I think it was you, Jalila, who said you want to do a library.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got some hands up for that one. And then somebody said this was an awesome interview. And then we have Nairi that said, mashallah, you girls are awesome. Keep up the great work. Continue to follow your dreams, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to bless you. Consistency is key. Bravo. And then your mom put up there, and then she put JASCrafted at JASCrafted on IG, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. So as we look to close, I always, gratitude is something that is always at the forefront for me. And that is because our Lord told us that when you show appreciation for his creation, you show appreciation to him, right? So this is National Women's Month. Is there any women that have inspired you that you would like to take this opportunity to say thank you?
My mom.
That was in unison. It was like my mom.
I would say my mom, definitely my mom.
Yeah.
My family members.
Your family members? Yeah.
Mostly the woman in my family. That's just
Aww. That is beautiful. So for all of you that are watching, please know that the social media handles from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, these are young entrepreneurs. Their mother does manage these pages. So just know that if you have any questions or anything like that, or you want to know more as far as getting to know the company, please know that their mom is managing these pages. So you can get more information, and their mom is kind of like the co-CEO. She's the silent part. Y'all are in the forefront. And,
she even gives us like all their supplies and stuff.
That's right. That's right. I love it, girls. I love it. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, because you're an inspiration to me. People, they talk about Conversations with Asia is all about empowerment and educating our community. What I want to say is this is what we need to do. It takes a village. So when I have asked you to please go to their website, JASCrafted.com, and support our young ladies, We have our holiday coming up as Muslims for the Eid. Please use this as an opportunity to support our girls. This is what we need to be supporting. And I think if the girls would see more of it, you know, girls that are struggling, girls that are having a rough time, when they see that they can get attention, positive attention, feeling special for all the right things, and we have a community rallying behind it, might have a lot more girls that are looking to do and follow in the footsteps of Jalila, Aziza, and Sa'ara. So may Allah continue to preserve you, bless you, and it's 15% off. The mama's putting it up there. Her mama's promoting, boy. So she's putting that marketing up there. May Allah preserve you and continue to keep you safe and keep you with your creative mind, doing so good for the community. I'm honored. I really am honored to have all three of you and have to watch you grow from the beginning of starting JASCrafted to see you where you are now. It's just a privilege and an honor. And I thank you for coming on the show and inspiring me and all the and inspiring all of our viewers. So for those who just kind of tuned in and you missed this great interview, this great conversation that we had with Jalila, Aziza, and Sa'ara from JASCrafted, you can always watch the replay here on Facebook, but you can also go to our YouTube page under Asia Nasir Shahid, and you can always listen to not only this interview, but all of our past guests and all of the topics that we talked about that have been so empowering and educational to the community. And stay tuned, for in 2 weeks, we have another young entrepreneur by the name of Raisa, who is going to be talking about her cooking show and all the things that she is doing as well. So we have a lot of we do have young ladies that are doing some positive things that we need to support. And I'm just so grateful that you came on. Keep doing what you're doing. We are here supporting you. And thank you again for being on the show. And for our viewers, thank you for watching another episode of Conversations with Asia. In 2 weeks, God willing, see you on another episode. Good night, everybody.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, girls.